Today we are jazzing up the quarter circle block with a simple stitch and flip corner to make this beauty, if I do say so myself. Don't look too close. Doesn't it look fabulous when it's in motion? No, but really, how fun is this? And this is part of a Quilting 101 collab with Handmade by Ying with Donna. I'll put all the info in the description below. And today we are going to use some templates and a square to make this block. This is one unit of this is 5.5 inches unfinished to make a 10.5 unfinished 10-inch finished block. And I'm gonna hang out with you while we cut out our templates, reinforce them, cut the fabric, sew this together, and make this block because you can do it. Curves are fun. Come to the curvy side, embrace the curvy goddess that you are, and enjoy this block. Let's go to the cutting table. Okay, so first up, we're gonna print our templates. When you print yours, there'll be a 1-inch box here, and you can either measure that box or you can measure this seam allowance to make sure it's 1/4 inch. I have an extra 1/8 of an inch in gray here because I, even after all my pieced curves, do prefer a little bit of a bigger seam allowance. So if you're like, I don't need extra seam allowance, you can just snip that right off. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut these out just outside the black line so that I can reinforce my templates with template plastic. You can reinforce your templates or you can just use paper. You can use template plastic, you can use cardboard, you can use those are cardstock. You can print it on cardstock. Lots of things that you can do. I prefer this template plastic. They used to make an extra thick one that I loved. I can't find it anymore, so I just use the regular one. All right, so I'm going to cut these out. I'm going to use Scotch tape to tape these to here, and then I am going to cut along just outside the black line and make my templates. All right, we're all taped up, and now we're going to put them on our plastic. I know it's probably pretty hard for you to see the plastic, but I'm just going to put one into the corner. Oops, didn't need to do that. And I'm going to stick one right here. I'm using not my fabric scissors. I'm going to cut these out. I kind of rough cut it. At first it's a little wasteful, but it just makes it easier for me to manage. And I save this for another day. And I apologize if the lighting is not great. I'm in my new spot. I rearranged my room. And so now I'm cutting just outside the black line. And I had big intentions for this video, but you know, life happens. Got behind, and then I'm trying to film this today and my son gets a fever, and you know, so we're making do, right? Where you can still see me. So I'm just cutting this just outside the black line. And fun fact, I was going to tell you guys, it's no problem, just use paper if you want. And here's the reason why I don't use paper. I don't know if you can tell, but I did a little sample of this, and the first one I did, whoop, I sliced the seam allowance right off. I like plastic, so we're going to go with plastic. Okay, so then I'm going to cut just outside the black line of the gray templates. Yours will look a little bit prettier when you download them, but these are doing just for testing purposes. Actually, I already tested them with the paper, but all right, we'll speed this part up. Okay, so now we have 2 reinforced templates, and let's talk about cutting our fabric. All right, so these are the fabrics I'm going to use for this block. So let's talk about cutting them. One, I'm using a white on white because that is what Donna from Handmade by Ying said she liked for the background of these blocks. So I did that. Next, I'm using this, I'm not sure, can't remember the name of it. These 2 fabrics are in my brand new fabric shop if you want to check it out. And so I'm going to use this as the kind of the main circle part, and then these bright pops of red. This is Ruby, also in my shop. I have to cut another one because I did a sample block that of course I can't find anymore. Or maybe if I can find that one, I'll use it. And so I already have 3, but you'll need 4. These are 3.5 inches. These are 3.5 inches big. I will have all the cutting sizes in the description. All right, so when we're cutting out our templates, the first thing we want to do is, now this is going to depend on the pattern, right? So for this one, this is going to be 5 3/4 long, and this is going to be 5.5, because this one has the extra
Oh no, this is actually going to be, even though I don't believe in eighths, oh my gosh, I don't believe in eighths, but I added an eighth. This is actually going to be whatever 1/2 plus an eighth is. 1/2, 5/8. Huh. So this is going to be 5 5/8 long, and this is going to be 5 1/2. And so what I like to do, no matter what pattern I'm doing, if it has curved piecing, I like to cut a piece as wide as the template piece is, so that when I go to cut this, I already have two sides of the work done. So we're going to start by trimming this to the proper size. Now when we hold it up, it is the right size. So we can go ahead, give that a slice. I gotta buy some more white on white. I got 2 more blocks in this collab to go. So now this is ready. Lay this out, and then I think the thing I use the most in the sewing room is blue painter's tape. So we're gonna come here, and I'm going to put a bunch of blue painter's tape on the back of this. And then once I have the painter's tape on here, I will place it on my strip. So this is currently folded over, so I've got 2 pieces of fabric, even though I hate the salvage. It's just, they're never, especially now that I've been cutting this Liberty fabric, I don't like how this salvage is like bigger than this one sometimes. It's just, whatever. All right, so I'm going to move this back up here. And then I like to use a straight edge. This is one of Fallon from So Be It Quilt's rulers that I love. And so I just line this up, slice that down. That comes off. Now this is where it gets tricky, okay? Rotary, so you can choose to do a couple things. One, if you're nervous about the fabric coming apart, which now I kind of am, because why did this do this? You can separate and do one at a time, but I'm going to still try to do 2 and be a little patient. Here we go, all lined up.
Hello, Editing Tasha here. 2 things I need to say. 1, I have an in-depth video that even shows how you can trace these if you're not comfortable using the rotary cutter the way I'm about to show you. So go watch this video. It shows you how to trace, cut, and even sew in more detail than I can fit into this video because this video got super long. And what was the other thing I was going to tell you? Oh, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. That isn't what I was going to say, but okay, please do that. Okay, back to the video.
So now because we, cut this to size, we already have this cut, and then that was an easy cut, right? So all we've got left to do is this little guy and here, right? So you need to be very careful, obviously. There are anti-cut gloves. I definitely should probably think about getting one, but I'm just going to keep my hand back. You could use weights. I have washers somewhere that I occasionally use to put this down that I just got at Home Depot. But you can, but I find that on 2 layers of fabric and this shape, I'm happy with the painter's tape. If it's a bigger or something else, you might like those pattern weights, and you can just use weights. So I'm going to go very, very slow, keeping my hand out of the way, although I'm probably not doing a great job. Do this at your own risk. So then we get 2 of these, boom, and then we'll do it again for 2 more. So when you're coming up and around, you want to try to go as little as possible as you can into this next piece of fabric so that you can use it, right? So what we'll do is we'll flip this sucker and we will line it up. Again, we got the line here, we got the line here. If you went too far into here, then, more of this gets unusable. So I'm going to use this ruler again to do the straight edge. And then very carefully, just making sure we're all lined up, trim this out. I do try to keep my hand as far away as possible. I'm sorry if I'm making anybody cringe, but okay. Then what's fun is you kind of do get these little orange peel pieces if you line those parts up right and You can, either figure out a way to make templates, applique them onto something, So now we've got 4 of those, easy peasy. We'll have 4 of these. And then the next thing we need is the actual quarter circle shape. And you can, through the power of magic, true Tasha fashion, I nicked the dang template again. But that's small enough that I'm just going to keep going because I'm like, it'll work itself out. So I'm going to cut 2 more. So we got 4 and 4. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press these right sides together and these wrong sides together so I can find the middles, and I'll come back and show you what that looks like.
Okay, we are back, and we have the quarter circle with right sides together pressed so we can see the middle, and I have the outer piece with wrong sides together. So I press them the opposite way. And I always like to do this one right sides together. And the reason why is then we're going to open these back up and we're going to put them. I do this every single time, even though I've done this a bunch of times. We're going to put the block the way we would like it. And, oops, there we go. So we're going to put it with, man, this white on white, it is hard to tell which is the right side and which is the wrong side. So here we have, now this is the right side, this is the right side. And when I take this and I fold it down, these little creases are going to make a little pocket. They nest right together. And I know right where the middle is because these 2 creases line up. And then I'm going to take a pin. See, can you see that? Hopefully, but it's a nice little amazing crease. And then I pin, and this is how I've done it for over, I don't know, probably 2 years now. I pin here, then you take this end and I pin not at the very end, but a little bit of a smidge before the end. Now, when you go to put this under your sewing machine, you might have to fidget with this a little bit, but it's usually pretty good. And then you can start sewing before you have to mess with taking pins out. And then I come and I line up this end to this end, and you're just doing it nice and flush, right? Like, matching up the ends, matching up the top, like a million things you've matched up before in your life. So then I get my 3 pins in. I have 1 here, 1 here, 1 down the middle, but I don't like the way this is fluffy. So I like to come in and add some more clips. Now you could come in here and you could add a bunch more pins, or you could even, some people glue, and then other people even do no pins. But this is the preferred way that I like to do it. I do this with every single curve I sew. And so really you're just, let me do that again. So you're just kind of pulling this flat, getting these 2 to line up, and clipping them in. So at the end of the day, you might have a little, it's not going to lay flat the whole way, but this part right here where you're going to sew lays flat. So then you're going to go to your sewing machine and just sew 1/4 of an inch right down the way like you would anything else. Go nice and slow. And if you are sewing along and you see a little bunch or pleat with your needle down, straighten it out. And so when you're done filming, I had a little thread problem, don't mind that. You're going to have a nice 1/4 of an inch all the way around with hopefully nothing folded over. Then I'm going to take this to my ironing board and I'm just going to press it out, and then we're going to talk about trimming. All right, so this is what we look like all pressed out. I have this little thread nest here because it's giving me a hard time. Never ends, Whenever you just want to sit down and do something simple at your sewing machine, it's got to test you. Okay, so now we need to trim this down because we have this extra 1/8 of an inch around the outside. So that means we need this block to be 5.5 inches, but if we need to trim, we want to trim the excess from around here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler, and this is my 12 by 12 ruler that I've had maybe since I started quilting, and I use it all the time. I'm not sure how easy this is going to be for you to see on camera. All right, so the ideal placement is you're going to have the 5.5 inch line along the left side, the 5.5 inch line down the bottom side, And when you get to here, you're hoping that your 1/4 inch dash is right where in mine the blue meets the white. So because your goal ultimately is to have a 1/4 of an inch around here and around here. And even with an extra 1/8 of this, I'm still a little tight. It doesn't look like I'm trimming an 1/8. Maybe up at top I did, but I certainly didn't trim an 1/8 over here. So that's the goal. All right, so now we have our blocks that hopefully all look relatively alike. And we are going to do the last step, which is simply, we're going to add this red triangle in here. Here's one that's complete. And we're going to do that by doing a stitch and flip. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your, let's make sure, I believe this is a 3.5, 1, 2, 3.5 inch square. And you're going to draw a line on it on the wrong side of the fabric from corner to corner. Then you're going to take it over to your sewing machine and you are going to line it up right sides together with this corner, this line going this way. Because you want, when you're done, you want to be able to flip this over and for it to look like that. So if you flip on the drawn line, that will give you an idea to make sure that you've got it going the right way. You don't want it this way because if you sew on that line, it doesn't even make sense. So really, there's only one way that makes sense, and it's this. You want your line from corner to corner. Now, the next step is you're going to sew along this line directly on this line on your sewing machine. So you're going to stitch right here so that when you flip it, it definitely covers. So you've got this stitched. We're going to come in, we're going to take a ruler, and we're going to trim a 1/4 of an inch away from here. And I did not do a great job. But then you can take these and you can sew them together and make half square triangles if you want. And then when you flip this back open, you now have this unit. Okay, so you can see that again here. Here we are. I have it sewn, trimmed. Okay, so now all I got to do is sew this one. Yes, I have one more to sew. And then we will have all 4 done. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to fold. I'm going to make 2 sets of 2. I'm going to make sure that when I'm pinning, I'm trying to get as close as I can to get these little circle lines to line up. And then, you know, I'm going to probably fudge the rest, but do the best I can to get all these to line up. This is my first time ever doing this, so we're going to see how it goes. And I'll be back to show you the result. Okay, we're back. Here's the final block. What do we think? I think this came out really cute. I really like the fabrics. I wasn't sure if I'd like the red in the middle. I do like the red in the middle. This is such a fun way to jazz up that 1/4 circle block, and I think that 1/4 circle block is the perfect gateway to curves. So are you going to give this a try? Let me know. I hope you do. I just like to be honest with you. One of my blocks looks about an 1/8 of it or a 1/16 inch short. I believe I'm sending this to Donna, Handmade by Ying. But I'm confident that if she puts this into a quilt, she knows how to massage it in. If you've made it this far, do not forget to go and check out my good friend Zaza next week because she is the one taking on the next installment of this Quilting 101 collab. She's fabulous. Her accent, fabulous. Please go check her out. I'll have a link to her channel below and to everybody else participating in the Quilting 101. Don't forget to get your free templates, sign up for my newsletter list, and while you're there, don't forget to check out my new fabric shop and take care of yourself. You deserve it. And YouTube thinks you'll love this video of mine next, so please go watch it. All right, bye.